Hello everyone. Let us continue learning C. In this video, we are going to talk about conditional statements in C language. Now, conditional statements in C language can be categorized into two different categories. Number one, as branching statements. Number two, as looping statements. Now, what is the difference between branching and looping? Yes. Now, that I would like to show you in terms of a flowchart. Now, we all know the flow of a program goes in a very straight line sequence, that is from top to down order. Let me say, you have a statement here. This is the flow of your program, and you encounter a conditional statement here. In terms of flow graph, we use rhombus to represent the conditional statements. We encounter a condition. Okay. Based upon this condition, there are two outcomes I can have that could either be true or that could either be false. If the flow of the program goes without an interruption, goes with the flow in a direct straight line down towards it, then this is called as branching. We are just only branching the sequence. Okay. But if there is a flow like this, you have a condition entering this loop, and you have a condition, and the outcomes of these conditions are true and false. When this is true, you do a set of statements, something X, Y, Z statements, after which you get back to the same area, same loop where you started. It travels back again you encounter a condition. Here we are going to do some set of statements repeatedly. Okay, this is basically your looping structure. So this is branching and this is looping, and this is common across all the other languages. Now, in terms of languages, we have a certain set of statements to follow this. Branching is expressed with the help of if else statements and nested if statements. Okay, and we also have switch statements to perform the same. For do the looping action, in terms of C language, we have for loops, we have while loop, and we also have a special category of do while loop. So these are the classifications of branching and looping statements, which all comes under the category of conditional statements, because all these statements run based upon a condition. Condition, which is nothing but your relational operators sequences. Yes. Hope this base work is clear for you. Let us continue. Now imagine we talk about a simple scenario of printing odd or even. Okay, finding out whether a number is odd or even. Now I have an integer variable called n. I receive the value from the user, %d, comma, %n. After reading the value, I'm going to check if that number is even. So if the number is even, when I divide the number by 2, the remainder is 0. That is how you find an even number. You get a number from the user, you divide it by 2. When you divide that number, if the remainder is 0, then that is called as to be a even number. So n modulo 2 equal to 0. If this is true, I'll say printf even. Else, I'll print odd. Finally, I'm ending with the return 0 statement. Okay. This file I'll save as condition.c. So let me compile this file, gcc condition.c -o cond. I'm giving a short form here. So when I run this file cond, it is waiting for an input where I have to give an integer input here. I'm giving a number of 67 and it prints odd. I give an even number 56 and it prints even. I hope this makes you understand how a conditional statement works in C language. This the same functionality can be handled in terms of switch case as well. Switch, I'll handle it as I'll have a switch variable int s is equal to n modulo 2. So I can have switch sequence of, I'm going to say switch of yes. So I can have two outcomes. Outcomes can be case 0 printf even, I'll break. Case 1, printf odd, again I'll break. Usually we tend to have something called as a default case. The default case falls in the category of if none of the above predicted values occur. So then we fall into a category of default case. Okay. Now let me compile this again. I'm running it. I'm giving input of 56. Prints me even. I'm giving a value of 79 and it prints me odd. Now it is printing with the help of a switch case sequence here. So it is just your ideology of what you should print. Yes. So this is a clear-cut way of how you use if statements and switch statements. Now let us talk about the differences of if statements and switch statements. Now in the if statement, okay, let us understand how a if statement is executed. Now in the if statement, in the 6th line of this code, as you could very well see, in the if condition, within the if statement, I have a condition in place. Okay, I have a condition in place. Yes. Now what happens there is nothing but this part can be filled with any data that returns. It can be filled with any data that returns integer value, because if statement is evaluated in such a way that if of 0 means false, only if of 0 means false, any other value, if of any other non-zero value, is true. Okay, this is how your if statement is executed. Okay, if of 0 means false, if of any other non-zero statement is considered to be true, so which means you can write any statement here. Clear? Now for the sake of understanding, let's say, let us have a quick small example. I'm having an integer variable called n. I'll receive the value of n from the user. Or else I'll assign a value of n to be 10. N to be 0. I'll check the if condition here. If n is equal to 0, printf 0. Else printf not 0. Okay, a very simple task. Am I right? Now let us compile this and run it up again. It prints 0 because the n value is 0. I'll give another value 10. Now it prints n as non-zero. Okay. Now by mistake, if I have provided a single equal to here, instead of providing double equal to, I have given a single equal to. Okay. And I still have n value as 0. The n is still 0. Now let us see what happens. Let me compile this code. You could see very well there is no sort of warnings or errors that has occurred. Now when I run this up again, it prints not 0, but now you might have a small doubt saying, see, guys, n is still 0. And when I compare it with 0, it should say true to me, but instead it says false. The question is why? Now the part in the 4th line, if you observe, we are not using an relation operator. We are not using n double equal to 0. Rather, we are using an assignment operator. Now, just in our previous video of talking about operators, I taught you that every single operator has a return value. Yes, every single operator has a return value. In that context, assignment operator returns whatever value it is storing at present. At present, this assignment operator is trying to store 0 in the variable of n, and that is the reason why it returns 0 here. So if of 0 is considered to be false, and henceforth it is printing not 0 as your output because it has returned false over here. Yes, hope this part is clear for you all. And this is all about your branching statements. You have a condition in place. If that condition is true, you proceed either to the left or you proceed either to your right. That is all about your branching statements. Hope this video is clear for you all. See you in the next video. Thank you.